Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. County Commissioner John Henry is with us, and the county commissioners did meet for the final time in 2021 yesterday.
We did. Yes, sir. It was very exciting.
All present and proper?
All present but one. One had a family emergency, and so they didn't make it. But, yeah, 4 of us were there and got a lot of business done.
Well, I saw in the agenda, I actually did a little research ahead of time. I'm not doing my Larry King completely. American Rescue Plan Act funding approval. So
yes.
I'm sure you've got a few things you want to cover on there. I didn't know if you wanted to start there or if you had something else.
No, I think that's a great place to start. So I think it was a little over $11 million that was rewarded to the county. They dole it out in increments. And so we have our first increment coming. I think it's a little over $5 million. And they're really tight on how you can spend it. So it's got to fit in certain categories. It's got to fit in certain places. So the county kind of broke it out. There's quite a few categories that fit in. Some are, emergency management, law enforcement, jails, stuff like that. Got quite a bit because obviously there was a huge expense there. One of the exciting things that are to come, so anyone that has a business out there, please pay attention to it. It's about $500,000 that will be doled out from the county to small businesses to make sure, kind of like this last one. Seemed like from what we heard yesterday, it might not be as difficult to be able to get into those funds. It might be a little easier. So be on the lookout for that. I'll make sure once that is really set and running, we get that out to businesses, because unlike the last one where the city had some, the county had some, and Carlsbad had some, the county's able to give it to any business. And so Artesia businesses, Carlsbad businesses, and county businesses.
As long as you're in the county.
As long as you're in Eddy County, you can get set up on this. So that'll come really quick. We've already got a group set that's a real well-balanced group to look over them all. I asked quite a few questions because I was interested on how that process works. My understanding is, to keep it fair, they don't even look at the name of the business. The name of the business is blacked out. They just look at the credentials, the numbers, all the stuff that you're supposed to send in. They look at those and make decisions based on that. So that was good to hear. Glad to get some more, because I know we haven't had to deal with it for this last year, obviously, as my family. But before, it's a hard deal to deal with. I mean, your price of foods are up quite substantially. Your labor's down quite substantially. I mean, all the stuff that small businesses are dealing with right now. I know inflation isn't happening, right? Is what we're told. But I see the inflation out there. So that might help those small businesses maybe get some more product, whatever they need to do to maybe help themselves try to make it, right?
Okay.
That's the goal of small businesses. So that was a big chunk of it, and look forward to getting that out there, and everything else kind of fell into line items that I think the Treasury Department set up what you could do and how much you could do, and we're basically just
You're going to be like the fiscal agent for the funds for businesses in Eddy County.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So there won't be a separate one that Artesia will do and Carlsbad
I do believe Artesia.
Oh, they will. Okay.
I think they got the same monies. I don't know if they'll do the same thing. I think there is some discretion on how it can go, but we obviously opted to give to the businesses and try to help any way we can. So, but I do believe both cities will get the same. It's not CARES Act, it's the rescue plan. So
yeah, I forget which one.
Yeah.
Which one was the CARES Trump and the Rescue Act Biden, or were they both Trump? Or
no, the CARES must have been Trump, because when it came out, we were open, and we haven't been open since Biden's been in office. So it must have been CARES for Trump.
CARES for Trump. That sounds like a campaign.
And Biden's on the rescue. I don't know.
Yeah, he does need to be rescued.
Yeah.
Quite often from stuff. So. All right. Well, where do you want to go to next on the agenda here? Did elect chairman and vice chairman for the upcoming year?
Sure. So this time of year we do it before Christmas. Let's see, next year, since it's an election year, we'll do it after Christmas, mainly because if there's if everybody got reelected and the board didn't change, we would do it. But I've always thought that whomever picks the chairman should be whom's going to be on the board. So this year we can do it before Christmas because the board didn't change, obviously. We opted to keep it the same. Things seem to be fine. Everybody's happy with that. So Commissioner McCutcheon will still be the chairman, and Commissioner Beard will still be the vice. That was my recommendation. I was glad to put that into motion because the chairman, the one thing that everyone always asks, does the chairman have more power? And no, our board is equally, there is no more power or less power. The chairman has to sign lots of papers after every meeting. So sometimes being the chairman's a little tough because, you got to go down to the office and sign everything we voted on multiple times. And, but no, I'm glad to have McCutcheon as chairman. He's done a really, really good job. And we had a great year.
You can't do that with a stamp, can you?
No, nope. You got to sign it all. It's got to be live ink on almost everything. There's a few things they're able to stamp, but for the most part, no. Every single thing we do has to be pinned. So
almost sound like a MASH episode. You can stamp it, but then you have to initial that you signed that you stamped it. Yeah. And then here's the form you sign to say that you're going to use the stamp instead of your signature on all these documents, and then you have to sign and initial that. So might as well just sign the darn thing. Well,
everybody looks at my signature. I've got a terrible signature, and everyone makes fun of it. I'm like, when you have to sign the amount of stuff, I just made an easier signature. I don't know. There's only one on the board that has this really beautiful long signature. The rest of us, it looks like chicken scratch. It's horrible. So
Commissioner McCutcheon will be the chairman, and Commissioner Beard will be the vice chairman for the next year.
Yep. Just keep it just like that.
So is the chairman kind of like the administrator of the meetings?
Yeah. Basically, what they're going to do is oversee the meeting. Even at that point, sometimes we'll start the agenda. We'll turn that over. The chairman does have discretion. We've got those 3 minutes and all these different things that happen during the meeting, and he can help move that along or slow that down, whatever we want to do there. But even that, they kind of take a cue from the board. I think if one of the commissioners, if there was something we discussed and a time ran out, we said no, we'd like that continued. I would have a hard time with this current commission, anyone saying nope, we're done. I don't see that. So it's a really great group right now. I'm really, really glad to serve with the group we have up there. They're all we all seem pretty level-headed. That's easy to say when you're one of them, right? But no, it's gone well, and no reason.
Other item I see on here: request to develop an ordinance applicable to illegal dumping in Eddy County. I think you've mentioned this before in the past. I know Commissioner Beard has mentioned this before. The illegal dumping in the county. There's a lot of things the county does to try to keep people from thinking that the best way for them to get rid of their stuff is just dump it out in the county somewhere.
Yeah.
But are there not stringent enough regulations on the illegal dumping that's what the commissioner's looking at?
I think what we're looking at trying to beef it up. And I had lots of questions on this because I, for one, hate ordinances. I've never been a fan of them. I don't like it. There is a state statute in place that actually covers this. What I did find out yesterday, Cass filled us in on this. Some of those state statutes that the state has passed, which would be, and our ordinance will follow that state statute. It'll basically be much of the same. And I said, well, why do we need to pass an ordinance if we can follow the state statute? What I didn't know is a lot of those ordinances, and the dumping is one of them, when the state passed that, they didn't finish the job and pass any legislation. Yeah, go figure, right?
No.
That's what I thought. I thought as soon as I heard it, I thought, surely not our state. They follow through with everything. But they didn't on this one, darn it. And so anyway, so they didn't follow through with the job and then pass something that gives authority to the counties to enforce the statutes. So basically, this state statute, I guess the only authority you would have, and I never really got a clear answer, would maybe be the sheriff and the police. The state police. Other than that, the county, no one else in the county has authority to beef up because there's a massive problem. I don't have as big a problem in my district. Artesia doesn't seem, it's still out there, but it doesn't seem to be the same problem that we're having in some of the areas up in a little past Carlsbad. And this puts a little more teeth in it. It'll be we're hoping. The request yesterday was at least $1,000 fine and up to, I think it's 90 days in jail or something. They're working on that. It could be 364. It depends on that statute and what we can do with it. But no, our goal is to beef it up and make it an actual punishment. Because right now, if you called the sheriff, is it a littering fine or is it can we hit the stat? So there's a little bit of gray area that we want to take that gray area out, and mainly because we've made it so easy. You know, there's no excuse anymore. We put transfer stations everywhere. We've left a lot of transfer stations open all weekend. Used to, they wouldn't take tires, which always boggled my mind because, okay, fine, don't take them. Then we just got to send a crew out to pick them up on the side of the road because we're going to take them. So Burns has figured out a program to take the tires. I mean, we're doing everything we possibly can to make it simple for folks, and people are still just lazy and throw it out. If you're throwing trash in a ditch, you're lazy, and you should stop because, you know, especially up on past Carlsbad, I know a lot of the problems. And in fact, one of the farmers is my father-in-law, and I felt horrible for him one time. He said, "Come look," and down the road someone had thrown trash in the ditch, and so when the water hit it, they pushed all that trash into his farm and the next farm. So now all these farmers who work hard to keep their fields clean and you know, they got alfalfa growing and they're ready to go, and now it's full of trash that they've got to go deal with. So the effects on other people, it's a real problem, and there's no reason for it anymore. You don't have an excuse.
So even though there's a state ordinance, there's not really, the legislation doesn't give clear authority as to who can actually enforce
exactly
a violation of this or make it a charge. So in working in this ordinance, that's what the goal is to mirror what the state's doing, but give local authorities the opportunity to.
Yes, sir. It'll just make it to where let's say we're out there, and you see them doing it. Now we have authority to ticket that and not have to wait for all this other stuff to happen. So, which I'm totally fine with. That this is one ordinance. If that's the way it's written, I would be proud to pass it because I know a lot of folks out there are just sick and tired of seeing trash. So.
Yeah, oh no, it's a definite problem. And then the wind blows.
Yes.
And sends it everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, we need to take a break for news here at the bottom of the hour. County Commissioner John Henry is with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now for your Pecos Valley News.